Luda is a friend of yours, just like, you know, 250 other women, at least. You would take me aside, and after I got to know you, and after you and I mutually earned our own trust, and you could feel my heart, and I felt your heart that, you're a real guy. You would tell me, this is not right, this is unrealistic. You were real with some of the other guys. I saw that. You didn't want to set anybody up for failure. You didn't want to set any of the women up for failure either.
Yes.
You are looking for real relationships as you found it. You
Yeah.
married Natasha. That's what you want, and you're real. The root of it is that you knew Luda, and you got to know my heart, and you knew that it was a distinct possibility that love would be here.
And tell me, how do you feel about the expectations that you created and the anxiety that you had when you planned to come here this time, and what you were expecting to find? Did you find more than you expected? Did you find what you expected were more than you expected? How was it for you?
Well, the second trip here was my expectations were a little bit more realistic. Think I was a little bit more down to earth in my way of thinking, and I was better prepared to find a lady that would be suitable for me in my age range, and through your help in doing that, we were very fortunate to actually find success on the very first date on my second trip to Poltava.
So, do you agree that maybe the information and the media, what people overseas think about what is Ukraine, do you think that is needed to have a little bit of a downgrade about expectations?
Absolutely. I think that in life everyone hopes and wishes for the very best, but you have to be realistic. There are many very beautiful ladies here that would make very, very good wives, but you have to be realistic in your choices. Obviously, at my age, a 20-year-old woman is not suitable for me. And luckily for me, you have found a lady a little bit older, more to my liking, and it worked out perfectly for me.
Нас познакомил Алекс.
I want to say that Alex introduced us originally, and when I saw Peter, I liked him right away, but he seemed to me very serious. But it changed when we went to disco together, because there I saw him from different side, and I already knew that we will be together.
Чудной. Он мне так сразу понравился.
Oh,
Вот.
you were right.
Потом, когда мы съездили
And
уже
then
на
he
море,
came
когда
again,
мы
and we
побыли
went to the
целую неделю.
seaside for a week, and we stayed together for 1 week. Then we became closer to each other,
Это уже более,
and
больше
there came a
сблизились.
point where you understand
Таким
that this
образом,
person is for
ты
you.
понимаешь, что
And
человек
now
правильный.
he came again and made a proposal to me, which I said yes to.
Приехал,
And
сделал
now I
мне
want to be
предложение,
with
на
this
которое я
person, and I
согласилась.
want to stay with him.
С этим человеком.
Very nice, baby.
One question that I would like to hear your answer about is that you had the experience to be alone in both places. The big city, Kiev, capital, millions of people, as you said before, and Poltava with less than 500,000 here. What are the differences that you find? Because as we all know, they are beautiful all over the country, but what makes for you Poltava special in terms of the place and the people that you find here, the mentality? How do you feel that? Why Poltava?
Well, I'm a small town guy. I was raised in small towns. I live in a small town in Alaska. And I think all foreign men would, if they were to find, for example, somebody they want to spend the rest of their life with, they would prefer a small town or country type of girl. I know I do. And so I was happy that Ina grew up out in the country and on a little farm, and that I was able to find somebody like that with
What is the difference between the ladies that you saw in Kiev, not that you went to meet them, but the behavior, the mentality? Do you find difference between Kiev and Poltava in terms of mentality? In Kiev, it's full of foreigners all the time. So we walk on the sidewalk and we can cross with 10 foreign men with no problem. In Poltava, you may find 10 foreign men in all the city. So, and this make that people here, the girls, in this case, they are not used to deal with foreigners as much as that. So it's like they are much more preserved from the outside world and all the good and bad things that bring along. And that's what I was trying to understand, if you felt that difference between the highly already adapted to foreigners and
Well-
still country girls that we can find in Poltava. Do you agree with me on that?
Oh, I agree. And I think that foreigners that would come to a place as Ukraine have their defenses maybe up a little bit to be protective of themselves and potential, again,
You can say the word scammers because
Well,
that is it's what we fight the most.
basically what I was going to say, but I didn't really know how to say it. But yes, I've experienced close to that situation. I've heard a lot about it and spoke to many men that have experienced it. And I've spent a total of 3.5 months in Ukraine in the last year, and I can basically tell by seeing or speaking around or with someone what their intentions of the female might be.
Think about you. I think you're a good person. You have serious, nice. You have strong family here. You came here from another different country, and you find here wife. Now you have a child. You're strong. So I'm truthful. I like you. We are good friends, and of course, I believe you if you met me with some guy like Doug. Of course, I believe you.
I probably will have the greatest mother-in-law on the planet. Tanya's mother is, I see where Tanya gets her golden heart, and it's definitely her mother passed it on to her, and her mother is a fantastic lady, just very warm, loving, just like her daughter. They're very, very beautiful people. I'm quite happy with being a part of this family.
What can you tell us about the characteristics that a woman like Tatiana has comparing to overseas women and all the other people that you met before? What makes Tatiana special?
I think the very most important thing for me that's so different with Tanya compared to Canadian or even North American women is that Tanya is so very real. She is so warm, she's so loving, she's the most bubbly, happy woman I have ever met in my life. She always has a smile on her face, as you can see. And she just has an absolute heart of gold. She makes me so happy just being in her presence. I could never find that with a North American woman. It's just not there.
The first time of the 2 times that I've been to Ukraine, the first time that I came here was with a group of men. And United Kingdom, Canada, United States, all over. We came from all kinds of different places. I listened to the guys. I'm the quiet guy. And we all had kind of different expectations. So depending on what their expectations are, be I would advise that people be real about their expectations. What I found was kind of overwhelming.
Is there any advice that you can give to anyone when they come here? Because they come and they have a completely different reality. And what I would like to make them to understand is that the shortest way to success is to be themselves. Because if they find, and we all always work for them to find the right person as much as we can, but they need to be themselves, because if they are not what they really are on their own life to life, if they are someone today and when they go home they are another person, that is really a problem. And this creates lots of situations that sometimes you say that, okay, people find, people get married, they go back home, they divorce.
Yeah.
This have to be with the fact that girls get married with a guy that then is not the same guy back home.
Right.
So that's why I always ask, be yourself no matter what you are, because we always find sooner or later who is the person, so it's better to start from the right way.
Yeah, time will always catch up with that, and time will always put you back to reality. Realistically, Luda comes from a family that's very tight. I also come from a very tight family. And another thing about expectations, if guys think that women in Ukraine are dying to get out of the country, they're not. They're not. They love their family. All their friends, everything they know is here. I think another important thing is that I didn't have that many needs when I came here. It was about a mutual relationship. I wasn't thinking about me. This is what I want. This is the woman that I want. This is how she's going to look. This is how she's going to act. It was like, okay, here's me. Here's what I have. Does she value this? And I was just me. Not take it or leave it, but just me. And I think that in this case, it adds value to Luda. And I mean, we talked about all kinds of different things, and I can't wait to continue conversations the rest of our lives. And that was important. Was time. Time is important.
Yeah.
Also, another thing is when I came here the second time, I am so lucky and thankful that Luda gave me all kinds of time. And it's not because I asked for it. It was because she knew I was coming to see her and her alone, and she she cleaned her schedule too. I mean, I stumbled into you, and I'm so glad that I did. What I'm saying is, yeah, you can go to other countries and have matchmaking done and find somebody in France or Italy or Spain or Ukraine or Russia or whatever, but if you really want to shortcut it, and I'm glad that I stumbled onto you, because you live here, you know the people, you know the places, you know who's bad and good and has these issues, and these issues might be good with this person that has it, that's okay, that's easygoing, laid back, whatever. You're very intuitive. You're very, would you say his attention to detail?
Mm-hmm.
Is his attention to detail, he notices everything.
Yeah.
He's told me about me and it's like, do I do that? Yeah. I mean, he's caught me on, yeah, I guess I do that. I guess I do think that way. I guess that is a need that I have. And so stacking the deck is meeting somebody that's local, like Alex. I found Luda, and it was incredible. Alex, I do thank you. I couldn't have done this without you.
I do my best. I like you, and you predispose yourself for this also, and you trust me. So when we have this kind of good symbiosis and friendship and trust, your happiness is my happiness, because I made to others, I made to you, and you will help me for sure to help others like you that want the same as you want.